Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host Valerie, and sometime co-hosts Miss Purrington and Mookie. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, our advice column, Rochelle Takes on Comedy, a festivals page, and our FPIA page where you can see the full history of the contest. Keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Comedy Wham. And of course, we're best known for our events page for live shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW. If you're a comic in those cities and want your show featured on the calendar, click the Submit a Show button on the homepage or events page to complete the short survey. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we will share your show promo. Looking for ways to support all these resources we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon. Search for Comedy Wham on Patreon and check out our subscriber perks. Now let's get back to our podcast. Launched in 2016, the Podcast Project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and we usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Today, we are talking to somebody who is the co-host of the All Regerts Podcast, and that is intentional. She co-hosts it with Omar Gonzalez. She performs all around Central Texas, probably even beyond Texas, as far as I know. And she was on the 2022 Lysistrata Comedy Festival and was just announced to be returning for the 2023 edition of the festival, which will be held in Austin, Texas at Cold Town Theater. And now Comedy Wham presents Sam Noorani.
Hi.
Welcome.
I sound so accomplished. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Call my mom and read that list to her, please.
Okay, well, tell her to listen to the podcast.
I will.
I need my listenings.
If you can translate it to Urdu, she'll be all about it.
Okay. No, I cannot do that.
Oh, I'll just sit next to her and be like, oh, they said I'm great.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Do you speak Urdu?
Yes.
So I recently interviewed Zane, and I think that's what he speaks. Not well, he admits, but...
Yeah, he's also from Pakistan, which every time I meet another Pakistani, I was like, oh my God, there's more.
That's crazy. And to be in comedy in Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah. But, there's been like a lot of, I don't know, my brown people, like, Indian, Middle Eastern, like just brown people showing up. And I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, I've learned how much of a hack I am whenever I talk about brown stuff in comedy. I'm a brown for Brownistan. Like, it's all, like, all of them say that.
Yeah.
It feels like, this is what it must feel like for, like, white guys that are new to comedy, that are mad at their dads and sad about their dicks.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what's happening right now with the brown guys, and I'm like, I'm here for it, and I'm learning.
Well, with that kickoff.
Oh, man. Sorry, I've been wanting to rant about this for a while.
No.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So much culture.
This neighborhood I really love because it has a lot of diversity, and one of those reflections of that diversity is that recently we got this, you live in this sort of general area, is that right?
Oh, I live in North Austin, but I used to live on Barton Springs a while back, so I'm fairly familiar with this area.
So there's a hospital on 620, and in that little... It's an odd placement, but there's a new store called the Spice Box, and it is an Indian spice store. I haven't gone yet, but I want to go because I want to check out what they have.
Yeah, and
so,
dude, low blow, but it sounds like a great stripper name too.
It is.
See, I'm telling you, I'm a hack.
Well, you're welcome for the idea.
Thank you for propping that up,
You're
Valerie.
very welcome.
Making me look great.
Well, we're off to the races here, but I do have an official icebreaker question for you.
Oh, yes.
And that is one word to describe your past.
Disassociated? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever had that many syllables for a past word.
Oh, do I win? Is it like boggle?
Yeah, you win.
Hell
Nothing.
yeah. Disassociated S. Plural.
Why that word?
I don't know. Like, that's a hell of an icebreaker, Valerie. I feel like, and maybe we're all in this place right now, or always, but it's like you're just kind of doing life. You know, you're just moving along, doing the things you think you're supposed to, and not doing the things you think you're not supposed to, like drugs are bad or whatever. And I don't know. I guess maybe not disassociated, just a question mark. That's 2 words. Does that still count?
I'm sticking with disassociated. That was the first thing, that you came up with. That's what I'll write down.
Okay, great.
You're forever held to this word.
Great. Disassociated. I don't care about you guys. Remember that word when it comes time to getting gifts, please.
Was your childhood filled with comedy?
Yeah, on TV. Like when I was a kid, the networks are starting up, like the 24-hour, like the news cycle happened, but then we had Cartoon Network show up when I was a kid, and that blew my mind. And then like Comedy Central came through, and my sisters and I, we would watch like all these comics go up, and we talk about them like they were rock stars. Like, did you see the Maria Bamford? I haven't even heard of a Maria Bamford. What is that? She's a weirdo, but people love her. I was like, you could be a weirdo and be loved? That's crazy.
So, where did you grow up, by the way?
A couple of places. I grew up in the Dallas area. And then for a little bit, we lived in Wills Point, Texas. It's like a church and a goat town. It's like we got a DQ, so we're on the map. But it's like a little tiny rural town. There was only 2 brown people there, me and one other guy. And everybody was like, you guys should date because the colors are the same. Oh, my God. It was weird.
Never heard of that town.
Yeah, it's near Terrell, if that helps.
Kind of.
That's kind of a name.
Yeah. And where in the Dallas area? Because I grew up in Burleson.
Okay, Carrollton, mostly.
Okay, all right. So.
Pearl Street and Perry. It was part of the Carrollton Elementary song. That's the only reason I remember it.
Okay, so you would watch TV and comedy specials and cartoon shows and...
Yeah, just like I Love Lucy a lot, like a lot of Nick at Night. Nick at Night basically was my parents. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I watched Dick Van Dyke recently.
It's the best.
Dude, it blew
holds up.
my mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they were so ahead of their time. I was like, they're being nice to ladies and black and browns? Like they're treating them like people? Yeah. Mary Tyler Moore's wearing pants? What the hell is this?
It was amazing. I went through a binge a few years back of it, and I'm like, because I grew up watching, not the original, but also just because I am very old, I don't want people to think I'm that old for original Dick Van Dyke. I was,
you were
syndications.
There for the airing. Yeah,
syndications. Dick Van Dyke.
You basically were also on the Nick at Night schedule. Yeah. Oh no, that's where I watched Taxi, and I was like, what is this? I fell in love with Danny DeVito. He's ridiculous.
Oh gosh, yeah. No, I was an Andy Kaufman person from the get-go.
Oh God. Oh, was it Nick Ferrari?
No, for me it was only Andy. That's the only person I paid attention to on that show. I couldn't tell you what any of the show was about, other than Andy Kaufman just being a goofball taxi cab driver. Yeah,
I think he had 2 characters on there, right? Like he had.
I don't remember.
He had the Laka. The thank you very much. Is it racist to do it? I don't know. I don't know. We're both.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're both immigrants, so I think I'm good. But then he had Nick Ferrari, which was like this douche, and he was fun. Yeah. He was like the complete opposite of Laka and just confident, like Trump in the 80s. Like that's what he felt like. Okay. Like I got confident. I know I'm a jackass, but don't worry. Yeah. I got a cushion behind me.
Okay, so you grew up in Dallas. You're watching a lot of funny stuff. What's going on in your brain as far as, is comedy something that I could chase after?
It was like a secret dream to be a comic, because it always felt untangible, you know, like, and maybe it's just the way we were raised. Like me and my sisters are first generation, and my parents showed up when we were babies. Yeah. So it's a different perspective from them. They're like, hey, we showed up, we are building everything up, and you gotta be chill. You can't be like going around trying to get attention because we're the wrong color for this. Like, that was the vibe. So it was something that I'd always had a lot of respect for, and I followed along a lot of these comics. Like, people might stab me, but I loved Dane Cook when he first came out. Like, he was for my generation, for my demographic, I guess. And I don't know, like, I didn't really pursue it until I hit like 28, 29, and just to kind of mess with it. And mostly it was to try to come out of my shell and like be able to interact with people without freaking out inside.
Yeah.
And I figured if I can air out my dirty laundry in a funny way to strangers, then at work it should be easier to just be like, hey man, don't be a jerk or whatever.
So through school, college, you never had an opportunity to kind of tackle those coming out of your shell
Not
things?
really. Like, I feel like I've lived as a coward most of my life. Like, just be safe. And if you have to go outside of the boundaries, be between the lines. That way technicalities will be on your side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it was the way we grew up. It was just like, people are watching and you got to be good.
Yeah.
So you can't be crazy. And then, I don't know, I think I just hit a point because I've had a 9-to-5 job forever in like a professional environment.
Yeah.
And maybe I watched Office Space too young and I was like, this is wrong. This sounds like it's terrible.
Yeah.
And, ooh, that was empty. Sorry, I almost knocked something over. But, yeah, I don't know. I hated the 9-to-5 desk job thing, and I got into it because it's safe. It's safe, it pays the bills, and it's stable. And then I was like, set everything on fire. I hate this. Let's go. And I tried out comedy, and then I learned I really like it. I feel like I have a place there. And I don't know, I just want to be part of comedy in some capacity, even if I have to be trapped in this day job.
Yeah.
The comedy is like, you know what? Being alive is okay. Yeah. It's fine that I woke up today.
So I want to know more about the process of what got you on the stage the first time. You've just announced that you wanted to burn everything down and just,
Yeah, fire. Start a fire.
Yeah.
I am my own Beavis.
Did something happen that you're like, fuck this, I'm going to go try this out?
Yeah, I did lurking for a bit. I had zero intentions of getting on stage. I read about Natasha Lyonne, I think it was, and she mentioned, and no, if I got her wrong, then insert the, just dub it over and put the right guy's name when I said Natasha. But I read something to the effect of she was like hanging out at a bar just to like hang out for the night, and she saw an open mic, she became friends with some of these guys, and that's what got her into it. Like, had no intention. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to get into it, but I love comics. I love what they present. I love the fucking, I love the struggle. I love the hustle.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go be in that environment. I was like, they might not like me. They don't know me. I'm probably a weirdo in the corner, because that's who I was. I was a lurker in the corner, like, I don't know how to communicate with any of you.
This is the show title, the episode title now, Weirdo in the Corner.
Weirdo in the Corner. Yeah. Weirdo in the Corner with Sam and Valerie. Valerie, which corner did you pick today? Southwest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was mine.
I always face Mecca. That's cool.
That's right.
For the culture. That was for my mom.
Very important to you. So you had no intention, but then something happened. You were just like,
yeah,
I want to do it.
Yeah, I went to the Velve a lot for their open mic nights, and then like a couple shows here and there, like comedy shows local. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I guess I just started writing things in the back of my head, like some of the stories.
Yeah.
And it was something that I'd always been doing. Mm-hmm. Like, if I have a funny story to tell my friends or whatever, I'm like rehearsing it. I've been writing like a comic in my head for like decades. And then getting into the process, I'm like, oh crap, I've been doing this the whole time and just throwing it away. Maybe this is something that's inside of me that I gotta go and do, you know? if that makes sense.
Did your friends always think you were funny?
Yeah, but they're my friends. I figured, if I look gross one day, they're going to tell me I look nice. Like, they are liars because they love me. So I trust them, but I don't trust them if they think I'm funny.
And so I've also picked up that you were already in Austin at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what year was this that you gave this a shot?
I moved to Austin in like 2012.
Okay.
And I think it was like 2013 or 14 where I started giving a shot. And then 2016, I was kind of MIA because I got into a coding boot camp because I was like, no, stability of work. Brr. And then, I know it sounds stupid, but like Trump showed up and then his goons showed up. And I'm watching the news going, everything is bullshit. Why am I following the rules? Why am I trying to keep things stable? These guys suck the wrong dicks to get up there. Burn it all. Burn it all down. Let's get out of this. I am so mad.
When you were dabbling in it before the burn it all stage, was it what you would consider safe?
Yeah, but I guess a little bit more to that. I think a few years after I moved to Austin, I was like, I'm not happy. I'm mad all the time. I got to get out of my shell. Because all I did was go to work like a frumpy old lady in like her 80s. I was still in my 20s. I still had time.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
It was like just crappy, like going to work, coming home, ordering Grubhub or whatever, watching something on Netflix, going to bed and doing it all over again. And a lot of drinking in between. So I was like, I gotta change because life is so long. Average expectancy is like 70 years. I can't be doing this for decades more. I want out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started like doing, I did the thing that we all do when we're close to middle age where we're like, what did childhood me want to do? Didn't I want to be a rock star or a golfer or something massive? So I just went back and I was like, I liked painting. So I tried to get back into painting and I was like, this sucks because I have pets and every time you prep a canvas, there are tiny little white footprints all over the damn house. I've got video of this. And then I tried to pick up the violin again because I used to play when I was a kid and I still sound like a dying cat. It's really bad. But I tried to do lessons and stuff and I was like, I know I need to do something artistic. And then that's where the comedy kind of fell in. I was like, I don't know what I need to do next, but this is an outlet. Let me just go watch because that was always a way to get out of the world and get out of your head and just go watch somebody else do comedy for a bit and calm down.
And it's happy. It makes you laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it pisses you off, but mostly it makes you laugh.
But the endorphins win.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I was like, it feels like home.
Yeah.
It was weird, but it did.
Yeah. But then you had to take the pause. Tell me about the first time you were on stage. How did you prepare for it, and how did you feel doing it, and where was it?
Oh, yeah. Dang, I want to say it was either Mr. Tramps or Anderson Mill Pub. It's one of those two. They're full of degenerates, and I love both of those places. They're the best.
Yeah.
That's where you grow backbones out there.
Yeah.
But my preparation was a lot of drinking. And I don't think I brought my notes with me. I probably did. I still bring notes with me, so there's a good shot I brought my notes. And it was this weird story where I told a baby to eat my dick at the end. That was my punchline. But it was like, I don't know, it was just me being drunk and interacting with children and then having a bad time with it, but then ending it with, I think I'm ready to be a mom, you guys. Like, it was a fun story.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, you are Sam the Filthy Mouthed.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to be. And then I apologized. Yeah, I'm a rebel with boundaries. I was like, thank you for letting me say horrible things. Good night, everybody. And then I left. But yeah, it was weird and scary, and I didn't know how to project. Like, I didn't know how to use a diaphragm, but I grew up Muslim, so I don't think we're allowed to, so it's fine. And like I sounded like this on the mic.
Oh, boy.
So people just saw, like if I was dressed up, they just saw tits moving and some faint sounds, and that's all.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You were okay."
So when did the Sam that we know today start
Popping out?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that's actively making fires happen.
Yes, that one.
I during the pandemic, really, I think everybody took a turn, right? Everybody reevaluated during the pandemic and saying,
Yeah.
fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Let's just be ourselves. This is dumb. So, yeah, so that was a debacle. I'd wanted to quit my job. Like, that was been my goal, like, to save enough money to not work for a year. And that's what I did. I took these jobs that I hated so much, but they paid really well. So I was like, this goes into savings. And right before Thanksgiving 2019, I was like, I'm going to quit because I'm in tech and there's not much going on anyhow. And everybody freaks out during that holiday season because all the good people are gone and things break. So I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. Goodbye, everybody. And I left. And then I had a nice chunk of change. We got the van. My husband restored it all. And it's like a livable van. Like, it's amazing. He put like
so
hot
cool.
water in there. It's
My
great.
gosh,
I
so
know.
cool.
I married a Bob Vila. It's so nice. But we got that prepped, and then we went out on the road. We got maybe 6 weeks in or so. And then we came home in early March of 2020, before Corona was even a thing. We
Yeah.
got sick. Like, we thought we were going to die sick in like February. So that kind of
wow.
messed up our van trip. We were like, all right, let's lay low. Crap. Because I had some shows and stuff scheduled out of state. So I'm like, all right, let's wait it out, see what happens. And we got better. I skipped out on a couple shows, which kind of sucked, but I got to go to the Utah open mic. What is it? That big comedy club in Utah?
I don't know.
It's fun. It was a fun like vibe. Like, everybody was
Yeah.
really chill, and I was like, "There's Mormons here, but y'all love crazy stuff too." But so it was a trade-off, I guess. I got to make some really fun connections, but skip out on shows. So either one. But yeah, we came back home in March to take a break. My husband's mom was gonna go out of town to take care of her mother for a couple of weeks. So we're like, we're gonna come home, take care of the pets and stuff in the house while you're out, and then when you come back, we'll venture back out into the world.
Yeah.
And just coincidentally, that was like 2 weeks off. We're shutting it down. Never mind, a month. You know what? 2 years. Sit in your house and cry. So, yeah, at that point, I was getting mad through the whole pandemic. Like, just my emotions were like, I'm going to stab people. And I lived with white people, so I was like, this is not going to look good in the news. This is not going to be it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just got mad, and when the gates opened, I'm like, I'm coming out. I'm doing my thing. I don't care. If you hate me, you hate me. You're going to have feelings.
In the middle of that, or maybe even before the pandemic, you started the podcast with Omar, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wasn't that before?
Yeah, it was like right before. Yeah, we've been on a hiatus for a little bit on that, and we keep talking about bringing it back up, but Omar moved to El Paso during the pandemic, and I wasn't working at the time, and so we were able to record and then, take turns like editing and uploading, and I did a lot of the cover arts. And I was like, I love doing this cover art. So stupid.
Yeah.
Putting Omar in a gorgeous lady body. Loved it. But yeah, we just had more time for it. And then, I don't know, the last year we were like, you want to pick it back up? Yeah. When's your schedule? In 6 months, I'm free. Do you want to meet for half an hour? And I was like, this is nothing. Let's figure it out later.
Yeah. I could tell you firsthand, podcasting is
It's
hard work.
Dude, it's a full job.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just doing the interview,
Right.
but you're cleaning up the audio, you're laying the audio on top of each other, you're editing everything, and damn it, Omar, if you're listening, he name drops so much where I'm like, I gotta cover this up, I gotta cover this up.
Really?
I'm like, there's 10 minutes of you just going beep, because you name drop too much.
It's too funny.
It's ridiculous.
I'd expect that out of you.
Oh, man. I try so hard, but, I think the first 6-7 months of that podcast, you can hear it in my voice. I'm very drunk. So, shut up, Omar. You know what makes me mad?
You did our online show, I think once.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about the online shows?
Well, to me, like they were the thing that I needed to consume time, right? Because I couldn't go out to shows to watch anymore. I was performing at the time, so I couldn't go and perform. So I kind of needed to
It was like
find something to replace. And I'm such a micromanager, organizational type person that this was like a wish list thing to be able to pull everything together, try to make it a good experience for the comics. But I know in hindsight, like everybody will say, ugh, online shows, the worst.
But, I mean, there's like this massive VR show right now that, I don't know, it's getting a lot of attention, and there's like names on it, like big names that were on there. So it's like, I think the online shows are weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think they have their place. Like, I co-hosted with Carter Anderson, name drop, I might have to bleep this out. But we did In the Meantime as an online show.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, just
Yeah.
like bantering back and forth and like having the guests come up, because it wasn't like bits.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah, if you had a bit in your back pocket, pop it out if it's appropriate. But we're just commenting on memes and roasting stupid pictures and stuff. So it was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was the same. It's like this, it would be a lot better experience live to get like an audience to be like, here's a meme, giggle along with us. It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like what is it? A placeholder,
Yeah. I mean, what else were we going to do? Sit and cry?
right? Get on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now I got to edit more shit. No. I'm too old. They're going to make fun of my pants and my side part.
Okay, this is actually the perfect point for us to do our little intermission here. So, point to a card, and I'll read the question off to you. This is from Where Should We Begin, the card game. Thank you to Richard, you would have met Richard. He organized all the technology behind the online shows.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Okay, so pick a card.
All right, I'll pick that one.
All right, your question is a major challenge I've overcome.
Waking up today. Next.
Okay, well, read me my question then.
Ooh. Ready?
Yeah.
The last time I got lost in a great adventure. Not an okay one, a great one. This better be epic.
Gosh. Oh, man. I don't get lost. In fact, I'm planning this trip for my son's spring break. Mm-hmm. I think most people would have a coronary if they saw how super planned out everything is.
Do you have like a binder?
No, but I have a thing that says from this location to this next location, the commute will be X number of minutes. Here's the map. Here's the parking situation. Here are the hours.
Are you adding extra minutes as cushion for bathroom breaks and gassing and traffic?
No, but that's the wiggle room I'm willing to allow.
All right. Okay. Well, how's that? What can I modify that question?
Yeah.
What was the last thing that you planned and everything went to shit?
Oh my
Or
gosh.
a major thing went to shit where you're like, oh, now I got to improvise. I got to improv. Say a location.
Gosh.
You are that much in control of your life where nothing
really-
goes off the rails.
Gosh. This is so funny. The only thing that comes to mind is my son and I went to D.C. one time. And let's just say I had a gastrointestinal emergency. No. In the middle of a street. No. And that was a nightmare. That was not planned. No one plans that.
I mean, like, that could still be an adventure. Let's get your son down here. What was his thoughts about it? It sucked, but I thought it was hilarious.
He is bound.
Oh, no.
He is not to speak of it.
It's-
He probably tells his friends, oh, my mom.
He probably like looks around like, is my mom here? No? Okay, let me tell you what happened. We just ate burritos. We went to Chipotle. And then my mom's like, let's go for a walk. And we're like, yeah, okay. She wants to walk on the street. Oh, you're nodding. This is exactly how it happened.
We didn't go to Chipotle. I don't even remember that we went anywhere super remarkable. But yeah, it was just like, oh man, there goes today's plans. Mm-hmm. We need to go to the Airbnb.
Right into the sewer. That's where those plans went. Just dump them on the streets. Oh man. I am trying to think. I know I have also like a violent sneeze and shat my pants.
Now I'm thinking about like other misadventures. There was one time where this is a really funny story from when I was in college, and I had some family friends, and one of them hooked me up with a woman that I had met once before, but she lived in Paris, and she was like a president of a corporation. She was money.
Oh, damn. She was fancy lady.
She was fancy lady. I mean, I went and looked into her closet, and there was like Coco Chanel and...
Well, she's in Paris. Like,
she's in Paris, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier for her to go down the street and pick it up from the Nordstrom clearance rack.
So it's the first overnight after I've stayed, and she's there, and we're having breakfast together, and she has a maid who is bringing out the breakfast things.
Is a maid also in Coco Chanel?
No.
Bitch ain't that rich then. You can't dress up your servants in nice garments. It sounds like she's just putting on airs. Sorry, go on.
I had timed my trip because I wanted to celebrate the Bastille Day celebration, July 14th.
Oh, yeah.
I had exactly 3, maybe 4 days in Paris. And, Paris you don't do in one day. There's so much to do. And that first breakfast, she serves me milk, and I know that milk overseas tastes different because they have it in a box. You buy it in a shelf-stable box. And now you see that more here with the soy milks and whatever. But over there, like dairy milk is in a box, not in a refrigerator bottle.
Okay.
So
do they pasteurize it differently than
I think
we do?
so, yeah.
They probably do it the original way. They got Louis out there, right? Like,
yeah.
They came up with pasteurizing.
Yeah.
We bastardized it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for us.
So I'm like, I know it tastes different, so I'll just, whatever. She's obviously trying to be a good hostess. So I drink it, and I drink about half of the cup, and I'm like, it just tastes weird. I'm like, is this milk? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, it tastes lemony. And she looks at it, swishes it around, it's all curdled. It's spoiled. Because this woman eats out all the time. She doesn't have...
I bought this 3 months ago. It's in a box. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Laid out for the next 3 days in her house from a terrible case of food poisoning.
So you got to see zero of Paris.
Zero. For Bastille Day, I got to look out her balcony and see the planes flying overhead. That's all I got to do. And by the 4th day, I'm like, come hell or high water, I'm going to the Louvre. That was my sole mission. I'm like, this is what I must do. And so I managed to.
How was the Louvre trip? Was it excruciating just because you're still recovering?
I'm still recovering. And later when I would take my son there, I kept boasting about how I did the Louvre in an hour because I had to do the Louvre in an hour to get back to the...
Because the bathroom's an hour away.
Yeah. So that's when things really went off kilter. But I'm now way more strict. I don't have time to get sick on trips.
Man, I can't believe we helped the French out in World War II, and this is what they did to you.
I know, right?
On a holiday?
Right.
On a holiday. The same day.
Right?
What is it? The White Stripes got together. Like, how dare they? Jesus. You give me that lady's number.
I've lost track of her, and she was already probably in her... I mean, I was in college, so or just out of college. I was in my early 20s. She must have been in her 50s. I don't think she's among us anymore.
Ooh, what if she's a ghost?
Oh, she might be.
Good. Go to her house. She's probably living there. And just like fuck with her. Like, I brought a priest, bitch. This bag of holy water.
All right, let's get back on our plan here.
Fine.
Okay.
I love ghosts, but fine. Let's talk about not ghost things.
So you got through the pandemic, and what did you think about what happened to the comedy scene post-pandemic?
I kind of love what happened to the comedy scene post-pandemic.
Yeah.
And maybe because I was like a weirdo outsider, like it felt like there was, and I don't know, there's so many variables because I was still really, really new. I was hanging out with people that were like weird and paranoid. So I kind of glommed onto like, yeah, you're right. Let's be weird and paranoid about things. That's how the world works. But getting all these new people come in, it kind of gave us a run for our money, you know, because there were some comics that have been in Austin forever when I started, and I loved their work, but some of the work was like, dude, Afghanistan was like 40 years ago or whatever.
Yes.
Let's stop talking about that. Let's. How about a new joke? There's shit going on today. 15 years later, let's talk about that.
Right.
But, it was like, it was good stuff, but it was the same stuff.
Yeah.
And then having new people come in right off the bat being really good, because like anytime we get a new comic before the pandemic in the scene, doesn't matter what they've been doing, they're a new comic.
Right.
And now they're like, wow, these new guys are new. They're really good. It's like, yeah, they've been doing 8 years in like New York or LA. They've been like working, getting their stuff up. And now this is the new comedy hub. I'm air quoting, which is great for audio.
Yes.
But it's like the new comedy hub. And there's comedians that I'm not a huge fan of that are here, but there's so many different forms of, like, there's so many categories within comedy as a whole.
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's room for all of us, but you just gotta wait your turn to get to that table, you know?
Yeah. And you started doing, I don't know that I had seen you perform before I met you on the online show, but now I see your name all the time.
It's annoying, right?
But you're performing consistently now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, I gotta thank Turn 2 Entertainment, like Amy and Shannon. Yeah, like, they're the ones that are throwing a lot of gigs at me, and because of that, I feel like I'm getting better at performance, just doing things regularly. Like, this sounds dumb, but like I hosted for an open mic at Anderson Mill for a couple weeks because Mike was out of town, and I don't know, a couple years ago I would have been scared too, because it's a place where you really gotta like build up and like fight for attention.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just went up like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And I think it went pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, getting more of that stage time because Shannon and Amy trust me with some of the stuff because they're out of town.
Right.
So a lot of the venues, like I'm taking the PA over, setting it all up, talking to everybody, and just getting more into the vibe of it. So I don't know, I feel like I'm getting more comfortable, and then hopefully other bookers see that and they like what they see. So if nothing else, I'm a good diversity hire. So yeah.
Right.
It's like a trend right now.
And then the last time that I saw you, I know that I was doing the showcase, and I had you on a few times, and you were great. And then we both traveled to New Orleans last year.
Yeah.
And I thought your set there was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was that your first festival?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it was so dumb. Like last year, I was like, my goal this year is to get on one festival. That's it. And then I got on pretty early in the year, so I was like, well, I'm not going to make an effort for the rest of the year. Goals accomplished. 8 months of nothing.
Oh, no.
But then, there's smaller goals, like, hey, stop being a scared little girl when you go up on stage. So that's one I'm still working on.
Are you still really?
Yeah, but I think that's part of performance, right? Like, I feel like if you've you get a couple decades under your belt, 10, 12 years under your belt, it'll probably be like nothing. Just walking out the door, being yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I lead with insecurity in my heart, so it's a way to protect yourself. If I'm scared, then I'm going to do more to defend it. So, yeah, sink or swim there, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And your material, raunchy? You would call it raunchy?
I guess, maybe. Like, yeah, I guess it could be raunchy. Like, I'd like to talk about, like, a couple times, like, sexual events that have happened, but it's funny to me, so I'm like, here it is.
It's not, I mean, some of it is gross. Like, I was watching your, an FPIA set.
Oh, yeah.
And,
which one? Which
the
is
braces.
That was what I was thinking about, too. That's one of my favorites. It's so terrible.
Yeah, so somebody might say, well, that's raunchy. It's, I don't know, it's...
I mean, content-wise,
like, it's not... Okay, this is meant with full love and admiration, because I do love Ariel Isaac Norman. Like, that level raunchy, that's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but...
You're like coasting right below that level.
Yeah, well, Ariel does it in a way where it's like...
God, she's so good with it.
Oh, right? Like, just, it's... Oh, God, she's like Groucho Marx when he does an insult, you know? Like... He just slapped you with words, and you did not realize what happened until, like, 5 minutes later. You're like, ow, that stings. Yeah. And Ariel does the same thing. Like, she'll glide it in there, and you're like, 5 minutes later, like, wait a minute, what did you just say? It's so good. Exactly. It, like, sneaks up on you. It's so fun. But, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what level I'm trying to get to, because I've done some shows where it's a little bit more conservative of a crowd. Yeah. They want a little bit more wholesome stuff like relationships and why I don't have kids. Puppies are great, you know, nice things. Yeah. And then there's some places where you think they're conservative, but they are about some raunchy stuff. The more they want to go to church on Sunday, the raunchier they're like shit. That's my assumption right now. Prove me wrong.
So which do you like tackling more, that as far as the writing for that type, the two different types of comedy?
I guess it depends on what the story is. Like, personally, I like the raunchy stuff because I feel like I can just turn the filter off and say whatever I want. But I hate it, but it's good to have boundaries and limits just to build your own character. Sure. And give yourself that little bit of, all right, this is where I'm at right now. If I really need to piss somebody off, then I can brawl out the guns. But I still gotta be okay here. Yeah. You know? So, I don't know. I think it's okay to have boundaries, but I hate the boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. It's conflict inside.
I think I know the answer to this, but I am curious. So when you know you need to be clean, not cleaner, but you know, you have to
finesse it a little.
Finesse it. Yeah. Do you actually take your raunchy jokes and have a cleaner version, or do you just say, no, I got to write completely independent stuff because I can't deliver that stuff in a sanitized version?
Yeah, there's some where, like, the joke is clean, but the punchline is raunchy. Where I'm like, and I've caught myself doing the joke, so I'm like, this isn't bad, until I get to the punchline, and I'm like, and there are children here, so I can't say the last line. Sorry, guys, talk to me afterwards. But I try to clean up the bad stuff I have, especially if I need extra time. But I don't know, I'll try to write something new. And the only problem with that is my memory is just trash. It's always been trash. So I'm like, can I remember the new stuff? Did I just autopilot into the raunchy stuff? And there's a 5-year-old here. That's where we're headed. Great. But I did do a show about a year or two ago where it was supposed to be PG-13, which no one can define. It's like world class. Like, tell me what that means. Right. What is PG-13? What is off the table? Because I heard you talk about your literal dick just now, and now we're still PG-13. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, yeah. But I got there, and they're like, rated G. Or PG, rather. Okay. Because there were small children running around, and I got there, and sure enough, toddlers are running around. They're coming up to the stage going, what is this? And I'm like, man, these guys are going to have some insane rides home after this. They're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
But I was told that, like, maybe I was closing out the show, and I was told that it was PG when I got to the venue. But I'd been scheduled for the show like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. So that's what I was prepping for, was PG-13. And I get there, so I got like maybe 30, 40 minutes to clean up my material. And the first thing I did, because I was just like stressed out about saying fuck, I was like, God damn. Like, that's the first thing out of my mouth. And I was like, can I? Damn. But it went all right. It didn't go as horrible, because everybody's like, oh, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go to church. And then I just went into a bit making fun of me being a brown, and they were fine with it. So that's where we came back around.
Yeah. Do you only do shows with Turn 2, or do you figure out ways to do other shows?
I need to start asking, and I'm really bad at that. But I'm open for whatever. Like, if somebody I actually respect is like, hey, I'll give you money to do something you love, I'll be like, all right, yeah, let's do it. You can be whoever. Turn 2 is just the one that's that likes me the most.
They keep you super busy. So
which I love. I love being busy. Like, I think in not next week, but the week after, my week is empty. I was looking at my calendar, and I was like, oh God, I'm just gonna do mics all week? That sucks.
Your joke-telling style is more of a storytelling style, right?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that at mics? Do you break it up?
It depends. Like, sometimes if there's like a tag or a punchline I'm working on, I'll just do little chunks and try to make it like a one-liner.
Yeah.
See if that tag or that chunk lands. Sometimes if it doesn't make sense to have it by itself, I'll just be like, all right, here's the story. We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
And don't talk back. We're having a rhetorical conversation. But I don't know, it's kind of fun, especially when you bring up a topic and you see people's faces. You're like, oh, you got some feelings about that. Your eyes got all weird.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I think I just stick to the storytelling because it's easier to communicate.
Yeah. And you're more on autopilot with it too, so that memory thing.
Yeah.
You can tell the story easier than my quick setup punchline kind of.
Exactly, yeah. Especially if it's a story that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still traumatized by that. I remember it exactly. Let me tell you, I still have emotions about it.
So you said that last year you set yourself the goal of one festival. Did you set a goal for yourself for this year?
Yeah, kind of. Like, my goal really for this year is to be able to do more traveling for comedy. Like, I hope work never hears this, but it's weird. Everything's on social media. People stalk everybody, so worst case scenario, I don't have to go to work. All right, anyways. I have a work from home job, so and we still have the van that's set up, and I've got like a little this is for my boss. Look, girl, it's fine. I got a van. I got internet. We're fine. No, but I got a whole setup. So and I've done this before when I was editing for the podcast. Was travel around for the day. My husband drives, and I just hook up to the hotspot, get all that stuff together, go land in a town, figure out their mics, go talk to everybody, see what's funny in that area, and just, oh God, I just want to be a nomad, Valerie. That's all I want. I want to be in a caravan and run around.
Yeah.
Hawking my wares.
Well, yeah, these days you can do that pretty easily.
Oh yeah, and I don't know. I love Austin. Austin is home. Like, I will always come back here. There's like an umbilical cord tied. But yeah, it'd be nice to just kind of see what other parts of the country, what they like, what they're into.
Yeah. I mean, there's road comics that's all they do.
Oh my God. Oh, it's my heart. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure it gets horrible and annoying and lonely after a couple gigs because the driving is so much.
But if you're doing it with your husband, it's not as lonely.
Yeah, we pull over, bang somewhere, come back in the car.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did not need to know that.
You're welcome. What else would you like to not know? This is my cycle. Every day on the 15th. Every day on the 15th. It's, I have a medical condition.
Okay, let's move on. Have you talked to JT Habersat?
No, he's been around since I started, and I've always like admired him from afar because I was like, this guy is always on. But I don't think I've actually had a chance to have a one-on-one conversation. I was still in my weirdo times when he was around. But yeah, he's doing Altercation Fest still, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should apply for that one.
All right. Can I be bitchy?
Yeah.
Sorry, JT. We haven't met yet, but this is how we're meeting, I guess. I mean, I applied a while back with my personal email address, and then I applied again one year with my comedy email address, and they sent my rejection to my personal email address. So I was like, well, I'm glad I could support it, but I feel like they didn't take me seriously. So I'm like, no, we're done. Maybe when I become more important, I'll try again.
Yeah.
But, it's festival stuff. They've got like 1 million people hitting them up, especially because they're in Austin. Everyone's like losing their damn minds sending everything over to them.
Yeah.
So I can totally see getting lost in the shuffle, but me just being kind of bitchy. I told you about that medical condition. It's every day on the 15th I get mad.
Well, it just seems like you'd be a good fit. Plus, just learning the whole, not that you can learn it from a quick conversation, but, he is a road comic and he knows how to get that done somehow, which.
Oh, hell yeah. There's another guy, Mark Viola, I think. I met him when he was a road comic. I think he settled down either for a long run or temporarily, but I made friends with a handful of road comics, and then there's like this Facebook page for road comics.
Ah, okay.
And I'm just like eating it all up. Like,
there you go.
This is going to be my life one day.
Yeah. And then Shannon and Roderick and Maggie.
Simply, like, tiny bit of me is like, in my heart, I'm like, you jerks get to go do a fun thing, and I'm stuck at home. I hate typing.
Everything in its due course.
Oh, I know. I have no patience. I'm like, I thought of it. It needs to happen now.
Oh, yeah.
5 seconds, that's too long.
Yeah, I have to fight that too. It's like, okay, I thought of it, let's get it done. And then somebody tells me, no, I can't get it done because I have these other things that I'm supposed to do. Hint, Richard.
Sorry, Richard.
But I really love your card game. It's really good.
And for the audio stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't do anything with the podcast other than help with the articles.
Damn it, Richard.
Yeah.
These are nice cards.
Also, helpful tip, I don't do any sound editing.
Oh, okay.
Other than the one thing in the middle that I'll edit out.
Oh, the beeping?
Yeah.
Because of my name dropping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that. No.
I know, Lex Luthor. There. That's the first name I could think of.
Is there anything we haven't talked about that you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. World War III? Can we talk about World War III?
I mean, sure.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you?
A little bit, yeah. I want the chaos. I kind of want the way our society works to just be slammed to the ground and then rebuilt. And it's going to be a terrible, terrible time. I'm not going to lie to you. I know it's going to be horrible. I saw about the Dust Bowl. I saw a documentary. I know it's not going to be a fun time.
I don't want to be collateral damage.
I know things are going to be black and white again. I don't want that. I like colors.
Oh, God. Oh, but maybe Dick Van Dyke. We can watch that.
Oh,
and I Love Lucy.
He's still around. Yeah.
That's true, he is.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Wow. You know who else is? Henry Belafonte is still around. Did you know that?
He is?
Right! I look him up every so often going,
really?
You still around with us, man? Awesome.
Wow.
Doing a lot of activist work must have kept him alive.
Yeah. I have to Google that. I mean, do you have your phone?
I do.
Hold on.
In a noisy way.
Oh, in a noisy way? Okay.
Yeah, my phone's like buried.
Let's see. American singer, and so much more. Good Lord. 96 years old, still kicking it.
Dude, it's him versus Dick Van Dyke, I'm telling you.
And Jimmy Carter. Well, Jimmy Carter, I think, is on the...
Yeah, he's on his way, right?
Yeah. He's 96. Good Lord.
I bet he still dances really good.
No, probably. Oh, my gosh. Slurp.
Oh, it's our thing. We're doing the thing. Cough, cough.
Yeah, exactly. Slurp. Okay, besides Harry Belafonte and World War III, anything else you want to talk about? Anything related to Sam?
Oh, not that I can think of.
Okay. You're going to be at Cold Town for the Lysistrata Festival.
Oh, yes, that. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Like, I don't know about you, but last year they got like all the workshops that they had. There was some lady, I forgot her name. I hope she's coming back. But she talked about her inner Chad, like channeling her inner Chad. It was like the very last day of the fest. And that has stuck with me. Like every time I'm like scared, I'm like, no, your inner Chad, bring him out.
Nice.
I'm going to mansplain this to you. And my dad has a dealership. Like, I'm just making up shit. But yeah, that inner Chad thing was just beautiful.
That's so cool.
So
yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, like I'm excited to perform in that new theater. I don't know if you've been to the new Cold Town.
It's amazing.
It looks so good.
So amazing.
And that the performance space where you come down the stairs, I'm like, I feel like a celebrity walking down here. It's really nice. So yeah, and then I know I'm just excited about other workshops that are going to come up, and just Rochelle put together this amazing group of women, and I got to talk to everybody out there. And now they're coming out here, and I don't know, I'm just losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see everybody again.
I'm glad not to have to travel.
Yeah. Well, so how do you feel about it? I felt bittersweet about traveling, because I love going to New Orleans, but it was nice not to have to drive.
Yeah. I have a 3.5 hour cap on how much I'm willing to drive somewhere, so I had to fly.
Oh, okay. Did you have to bring all your gear with you? Because you did interviews and stuff
I did
last
interviews.
year.
I brought my Zoom, and I think that was about it, because they had arranged somebody, John, who was doing all of the tech stuff. Agreed, I paid him up to record everything, and he did a great job putting all that together for me, so it was awesome.
Is he coming back?
I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, him, I don't know, I met so many people out there where I was like, these are just, could it be like this at home?
Yeah.
Could people love each other and it's okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the hot ones were cool to each other. It blew my mind. Like, but you're beautiful. You can be a dick to me. It's fine. It's how everybody was raised.
Oh, it was so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. End of March, people. If you're listening to this, end of March.
Yes, end of March.
The 30th through April 1st.
Yeah.
Although maybe April 2nd,
April
too? Because
2nd,
that's a Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's through April 2nd.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still working. They just put the lineup out, and I don't think they've sent out schedules for all the performers quite yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I told all my girlfriends, in Dallas, two of my best friends are out there, so I was like, this is this weekend, go get tickets, this is the link.
Very good. Very good promo. All right. Are you ready for our closing question?
Ooh, yes.
One word to describe your future.
Adventure, maybe? I don't know if I'm influenced by the card, but yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is my way to talk about World War III again. Sorry, Valerie. World War III, aliens, Russia,
aliens,
all the crazy
God,
stuff.
No.
I love all the crazy stuff. I want chaos.
Oh.
I want chaos to be my spectator sport. I don't want to be involved. So here we are.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with comedy. I don't know what's going to happen with society.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen at all. And it's scary, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. As long as I'm not trapped at a 9-to-5 desk job for the next 20 years, I'm looking forward to it. That's what I'm comparing it to.
Yeah.
Alien invasion or sitting at a desk? Bring them aliens in. I'm out. Take our desks with you, aliens.
A clear preference has been declared.
Yes, I'm on your team, aliens, so let's be cool. Give me the powers.
Awesome. All right. Well, that has been a wrap on Comedy Wham Presents Sam Noorani. Sam, tell us where we can find you on social media and upcoming projects.
Yeah, I've got a link tree, just Sam Noorani. I always list all my stuff on there. Instagram, Sam Noorani _, all one word. I have a Twitter, but don't bother with that. Nobody likes that. And Facebook, but also don't bother with that. Nobody likes that. And I have a TikTok account with no posts. So, yeah, do what you want with that.
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Sam got to be the comedic genius you heard today just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham Presents Sam Noorani. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.